Today's video is probably going to be more specific to those of you that are retired or nearing retirement and looking for somewhere to perhaps winter or to live permanently. I've done a couple of videos on the convenience of Armenia, and I just want to expand on a few items there that maybe weren't covered in those videos. I haven't gone back to review what I actually said, and I know the one that I want to refer to was done probably 5 months ago. It's called the 5 C's of Armenia. By the way, the photo in the thumbnail is of some of the flowering plants in a finca that we have listed, and it's just typical of what you have here year round. There's flowers everywhere. It's an absolutely beautiful country. My name is William Hutchison. I'm the owner, along with my wife, of the two real estate companies that you see in the thumbnail. I've lived in Armenia in about 3 weeks for 12 years and in Colombia for 13. Let's get started with the convenience. And a lot of retired people do a little bit of traveling. And one of the big conveniences of Armenia is that there's 2 international airports within 45 minutes. The flight schedules and even some of the carriers are different. So you have a real nice variety of routes. For example, we went to Santa Marta about a year and a half ago. I couldn't get a direct flight. It was 6 hours to go through Bogota from Armenia, but we did get a direct flight from Paria, and it made the traveling distance 1 hour and 20 minutes, the traveling time. So you have that variety. The other big option is Bogota. It's only a 35-minute flight from Armenia. And as you can imagine, from Bogota, you can fly anywhere in the world. They are frequently flying to Europe. I know that if you went to some destinations, you'd have to make a connecting flight, maybe even 2. But at least Bogota will get you well on your way if you want to travel internationally. The other nice thing about Armenia, but it holds for other cities in Colombia, is Spirit flies in here direct out of Fort Lauderdale 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. And that's kind of nice, just a little over 3 hours. If you were here and had to get back to the United States, you can get back quickly. One of the other C's was climate, and in Colombia, you have all kinds of different climates. We're only 4 degrees, I think, off of the latitude of the equator. So wherever you choose, the climate from one day to the next year round varies very, very little. But you have a tremendous choice. You can live on the sea, where it's high humidity, high heat, or you can live in the mountains where it's cooler, maybe most days doesn't get over 70, and have that as an option. Here in Armenia, there's basically 4 mini climates. From the airport to the north of town would be perhaps 30 kilometers, but the elevation increases. So when at the airport, it's perhaps 85 degrees, no humidity, but 85 degrees. North of town, it's 73, 74. So you have that choice. Aside from the climate, you have a nice choice of the style of accommodation you want. You can live in the city. I don't recommend it, but you can live in a condo, a lot of modern condos, single family homes, townhouses. You can live rurally on what they call fincas. For example, the one in the photo that's for sale, it can be rented on a 1-year contract. but it's on 2.5 acres. It's got 6,000 coffee plants. Someone renting it would probably want to operate it as a small farm, maybe have farming experience, but there are other properties like that to rent. The other C was coffee, and you have a tremendous choice. I just buy the regular coffee, but you can buy gourmet blends, slightly different flavors based on the ground that they're growing in. And some farmers have taken to specialized coffees where they do the whole processing themselves. And then on the coffee bag, in many cases, there's a photo of the actual farmer and a story about his finca. Coffee here right now has gone up tremendously in the last year. Let's say it's almost doubled, but it's still only $3 a pound. And if you go to the gourmets, you're looking at maybe $5.50 or $6 a pound. That, I think, relates fairly well to what Starbucks now is getting for one of their, what they call, I guess, specialty coffees. So you can buy a pound here for what one's going to cost you at Starbucks. Last thing that I left the best to last is cost of living, and it's maximum 25% of where you are now. I did a video a couple days ago for a couple, all in $900 a month tops. That was rent, services, internet, TV, and your food. There's in that video, there's bills that I paid over the last 30 days for water, electrical, and gas. For example, gas for cooking and hot water is usually between $8.50 and $9.50, $8.50 and $9.50 a month. I had a fella call me from New Jersey over the winter, and he told me his lowest gas bill was $502 for the winter. I have a client right now, income, decent income, $2,100 a month, Social Security and an annuity, and his rent is $1,400. Just insane. I mean, what does he have left for incidentals and food? And I've seen some of the prices for food there, and with his 700, I mean, quite a bit of that would be gone. So it's definitely worth considering. Another example that I had is a fellow in Texas talking to his sister and told her that his electrical bill for the month was just over $200. I think it was either 202 or 208. And she said to him, "How is it so low?" That pays my electrical bill here for 7 months, without question. Aside from the C's, I want to tell you a couple things about the health here. Colombia is rated in the low 20s in the world by many of the rating agencies. Canada is low 30s, the United States is high 30s. So the health system here is better, and I can give you 2 examples. A good friend of mine, I did a video on his restaurant, Donde El Tocayo. His name's Caesar, had knee replacement surgery here. Initially, he was bone on bone. Initially, they thought they could help him out with a pad, some kind of a pad. I don't know if it's Teflon or silicone or whatever, silicone. But whatever they had thought when they went in, they couldn't do it. So they gave him a completely new knee. Cost? Nothing, not 1 peso. Extensive therapy after, and he paid nothing. We had another personal experience here. My wife had a breast scare 6-7 months ago, and we went to the doctor on a Monday. She had ultrasound on Thursday and a biopsy on Friday with the result right away. 4 days. I don't know what it would be in Canada and United States, but it certainly wouldn't be 4 days. You throw all this in. Forbes magazine just rated Colombia the third most beautiful country in the world, behind Indonesia and New Zealand. Think about maybe 6 and 6. I did a video, I think the thumbnail is called 6 and 6, where every year you spend 6 months in your home country and you come here for 6 months instead of going to Phoenix or Florida. Coming here, you broaden your horizons, you see a different culture. It's just as safe as anywhere else in the world. The scare about safety in Colombia has to do with 30 or 40 years ago with Pablo Escobar and the activities of the cartels. Most of that is gone. And in a place like Armenia, there's none of it. So think about that too, because you can come here for 6 months just on tourist visa, 180 days. And as long as you go back within the 180, you're fine. So you spend 6 months in your home country, maybe you have a cottage, and you spend 6 months in Armenia. That's it for today. You have some alternatives. If you have any questions, get a hold of me. You can always combine a trip here with the Get to Know Armenia package. You spend 2.5 days with me, 2 breakfasts, 4 dinners, visits to 3 of the surrounding pueblos. It's not expensive. For 1, it's $675, and for 2, it's $775, basically at today's exchange rate. Don't forget to subscribe. It gets the videos out to more people. You can do that by clicking on my photo or on the company logo on the bottom right. Have a great day. I live in paradise, and you can too.